Hello, everybody. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, May 8th, 2025. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Remember, the trend is your friend. And we're giving you trends that you won't find anywhere, anyplace, anyhow. So what's going on? Well, the trend that hit the markets today is Trump. Yep. Yeah, we got to deal with the UK, the FUCK. Yeah. Stocks rose Thursday after President Donald Trump announced a trade deal. This is the language that they use. Framework, CNBC, between the US and United Kingdom. United Kingdom. What's this fucking kingdom shit? Scumbag pricks where the sun never sets on the British Empire, where we killed people all over the world, but we're the king. If they were Italian, they would call them the mafia, United Kingdom. A bunch of fucking murderous bastards over the centuries. Anyway, the first major agreement hatched since the U.S. launched preemptive tariffs. The Dow went up 254 points, S&P rose 0.58, and the NASDAQ was up 1.07. You ready? A 10% baseline tariff will remain on the UK, according to a graphic posted on Truth Social, Bullshit Social, post by Trump. However, the president noted that the 10% UK tariff could be on the lower end of deals with future countries, and said that, quote, some will be much higher because they have massive trade surpluses. So anyway, there's no deal here at all. What happened to the tariff thing? This is nothing. 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 Heads up to nothing. The final details will be written up, Trump said, in the coming weeks. So we'll be changing our bullshit week after week after week after week, day after day after day after day. And then Besant is supposed to meet the Treasury Secretary with China over the weekend in Switzerland. And Boeing shares rose 3% after Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick suggested the U.S. and UK trade deal will lead to a multi-billion-dollar deal with Boeing. Yeah, corporatism or fascism, merger state and corporate powers, as Mussolini said. Brent crude went up on the good news. And Bitcoin, 102.2K. Yep. $102,200. And as you well know in your Trends Journal, we've been very bullish on gold, particularly since the crypto club is a member of the Trump team. And we said the prices are going to keep going up. It's in your Trends Journal, article after article after article. And here it goes. Again, it's a gambler's game, and the gamblers are playing the game. Gold down $60, down $200 from its high, but we're still high on gold. Yesterday, Fed holds steady, citing risks of tariffs. So they held back with their rates. And what do they have here? Trump said, we have a stubborn Fed. Again, here's the deal. The economy goes down, interest rates go down. The equity markets go down, interest rates go down. Trump did it before, he'll do it again. The facts are all there. Go back to 2018, when we had the worst December in the Dow since the Great Depression, 1931. Trump pushed Powell to lower interest rates, and he did in January. He did it before, he will do it again. You ready? China cuts interest rates for boost amid trade war. China's doing everything they can to ramp up their economy. Everything. They're dumping more dough into it. They destroyed their economy with 3 years of zero COVID policy. It ain't coming back. Oh, there's an article in the Daily Mail today about how people in Kansas City going to Kansas City, here I come. No, you ain't coming anymore there. No, you ain't going there. They say people go 9 o'clock at night. They're checking out because of the violence, the crime, and the craziness. Every life changed since the COVID war and out of the news. And it wasn't, they called it a pandemic on March 11, 2020, when the grand total of 4,219 people died out of 8 billion. Yeah, the World Trade Health Organization. How he builds advanced chip plant in China. I'm mentioning this because China is going to become more and more self-sufficient and self-sustaining. Again, there's going to be a dot-com bust. China is going to lead the world in AI. AI is the future. Again, we go by the facts. When slimeball Bill Clinton, and there's the T-shirt I did back in 1992, beware of Slick Willie. When he brought China, before he brought China into the World Trade Organization, 10% of 18-year-olds went to college. Now, nearly 70%. 1.4 billion people. A lot of young people going to college. Young people are AI and high-tech addicted. Got it? They're going to lead this. They're going to college to learn about it. They're going to lead it. Now, again, a whole bunch of articles in your Trends Journal relative to this. You ready? Trump crypto advisor David Bailey launching $300 million Bitcoin investment company. That was yesterday's CNN. Trump crypto advisor. I wonder why crypto's going up. Can't figure it out, man. Blow me away. Never would have thought this. Again, number of articles before this in your Trends Journal in this week's. This is very, very must hurt Trump. They just picked a new pope, and you see the cover of this week's Trends Journal. It was Trump wanted to be the pope, right? Yeah, presidential reality show, Pope and Dope. They picked one. Yeah, another. To me, it's all a bunch of BS. You know. Oh, he talked about peace. Yeah, how about stopping the Gaza war? How about going over there and stopping it, Popey? All right, Popey. Let's see what you do to stop the genocide, Popey. If he does something, great. If he doesn't do anything, just more bullshit. Where are all the religions trying to stop this war, the genocide being committed? Anyway, so yeah, traders made $100 million from buying Millennia meme coin before launch. There's an article in the Financial Times. Again, it's a crime syndicate. EV sales streak grinds to sudden halt. Week after week after week after week after week after week, year after year, we have the EV data. They're climbing over there in China. BYD is leading the charge. Tesla's going down. So are others. What does it mean? Where's it going? We give our trend forecasts. And again, you read what you want. This week's magazine was 236 pages. No ads. No ads and no big stupid pictures like they put in the other media because they don't have journalists. You read what you want. You want to read about high-tech science? Read about that whole section. You want to read about AI? Whole section. You want to read about technocracy by Joe Duran, one of his books, The Synthetic Devolution, whole section on technocracy. You read that. You want to read about geopolitics, economics. Again, we're giving you what nobody else is. So when we write about EV sales, what they're writing here is old news. Restaurant brands earnings misses Burger King, Popeyes, and Tim Hortons post same-store sales declines. Week after week, month after month, from luxury items down to the junk food outlets, sales are going down. This thing has been artificially propped up with the fears of tariffs. You just saw a huge trade deficit because people buying more stuff in fear of the tariffs. And now there's going to be a slowdown that's coming. The slowdown, you're going to really start feeling it by the third quarter. That's when we see it happening. And remember the dot-com bust that's coming. Yeah. IBM CEO says AI has replaced hundreds of workers. And more buy-ups. DoorDash strikes deal to buy Deliveroo. Yep. DHL unit buys logistics every week after week, year after year. Bigs keep getting bigger. We have a tire column that we put in there each week about how the bigs keep getting bigger, and all we are plantation workers of Slavelandia. And what's this bullshit? Gates is going to make sure his money's in 2045. What are you going to fucking be dead by then? 2045. What are you giving? Yeah, not a ugly fucking shit. Not a penny for peace. Not a fucking penny for peace in these billionaires. Not a penny. Not one penny. Israel downs drones as Houthis vow to continue retaliation. That's the New York Times. From the Tehran Times, Yemen warns Israel to stay in shelters. Yep. This war is going to keep ramping up. Trump says they made a peace deal with the Houthis. They say no deal made. Again, according to what they're saying here. Yep. And he said there will be no retreat from backing Gaza, no matter the cost. That's the Supreme Political Council chairman said that. No aggression will deter us from our rightful decision to support our brothers in Palestine until the genocide ends and the siege of Gaza is lifted. Yemen, by the way, is the only nation doing this. Oh, Trump's going to the Middle East, to do more deals. They're going up another Trump Tower. The Saudis aren't doing shit. Qatar, United Arab Emirates, none of them. None of them. This is the only country fighting for these people that are suffering. So this thing's going to go on. Israel pounds Gaza. Airstrikes pound Gaza as Israel pursues displacement plan. Isn't that nice language from the toilet paper record? Displacement plan. How about genocide? This is an outrage in front of everybody's eyes and no outrage. Israel strikes on Gaza kill more than 60. That was May 7th. Now, Israel strikes in Gaza kill 106 over past day. And that's from Haaretz. 1 killed, 8 wounded as Israel hits Lebanon in major post-truce attack. That's Al Jazeera. Israel has launched one of its most intense serial assaults on southern Lebanon since a truce halted last year's war with Hezbollah. Yep. Israel violates the truce. Hezbollah says we pulled out, but Israel's bombing the hell out of the place. Bombing Syria. They can bomb and kill anybody they want. I forgot the chosen people. Yeah. Fuck off with your bullshit. This is disgusting. No outrage, and barely any mention of this in the Western press. Yep. Again, as I noted the other day, an Israeli government minister has vowed that Gaza will be entirely destroyed and told the population leave in great numbers to third countries. And they passed the Operation Gideon's Chariots, which the Israel said would entail, quote, the conquest of the Gaza Strip and the holding of the territories. All in violation of the Geneva Convention, Article 242, but we could do anything that we want. And what else? India has accused Palestine of attacking 3 of its military bases with drones and missiles. But Pakistan says they didn't do it. So who's lying? This is a BBC article. The Indian Army has said it foiled Pakistani attempts to attack its bases in Indian-administrated Kashmir. Blaster reported on Thursday evening. Pakistan defense minister told the BBC they were not behind the attack. This is serious what's going on over there. These are two nuclear-powered nations, and their fighting's been going on back and forth since the English left. Yeah, 1947. They invaded the place and conquered it for over 100 years. Yep, killing over 400 people in the region. 400 million people that died because of the Israel, India, Greenberg iceberg. Because of the UK's invasion. Sun never sets on the British Empire. Yep. And then there's an article in the Financial Times today. India holds most of the military cards in head-to-head with Pakistan forces. Both countries claim Kashmir and each control part of the region. Over the past quarter of a century, as India and Pakistan emerged as nuclear powers, the two countries have clashed several times. But military exchanges stopped short of major wars. So what's going to happen here? Is this going to ramp up? If it does, it's serious. And our greatest concern is Israel ramping up war against Iran. Number two, Europe ramping up its war against Russia to support Ukraine. So that's why we remain bullish on Bitcoin and gold. People will be looking to get out of equity markets, looking for reserve currencies. And Bitcoin, it's a gambler's game, but a very strong one, considering the people playing it in the Trump Club. And then, of course, .com bust 2.0. We're giving you the data here. China's going to lead the race in that. You look at the stocks today, NVIDIA didn't do great. Yeah, they went up a little bit. This situation is going to get much worse. We're doing week after week after week in your Trends Journal. We're giving you the AI updates. And they're not talking about this in the mainstream media. So we're suggesting that you prepare, prevail, and prosper in these times ahead. And we're giving you everything we can to help you do that. So subscribe to the Trends Journal. The more subscribers we have, the more we get the word out for the true spirit of the human race. And check out the interview I did yesterday with Judge Andrew Napolitano. Nobody liked that cat, man. Thanks for tuning in, and see you soon.